Hi, this is your 7-step screening assessment. For this, you're going to need some painter's tape or any tape that's easy to remove. Duct tape might not work so well. A pen and a dowel or a broomstick that you can unattach to use, okay? Our first screen, we're going to have to do some measurements. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your own body and the tape to do that measurement. So the first part of your body you're going to measure is going to be from your ankle on the ground all the way to the bump right underneath your knee. So some of us have a little protrusion there. If you see on my other knee, kind of bumps out there a little bit more. That's going to be the point you're going to measure from. So from the ground, you'll grab the tape, tape it to the floor, and draw a line up to that point. Clip it there, and we'll use this tape later on for some of the other screening. For your first screen, you're going to be doing an overhead squat. Using the dowel, put it underneath your armpits and align the armpit with the width of your feet. Do it on both sides. Once you've established the width of your feet matching to the width of your armpits, grab the dowel and put it on top of your head. Use a mirror and make sure that you're creating 90 degrees with your arms. Once you've established 90 degrees with your arms, press the dowel completely overhead. So that I can see the screen the best, I want you to give me 3 reps in one direction and then 3 reps in profile. With that position, without letting the stick come forward, descend down into the deepest squat you can perform without letting the stick come forward. Pause for 1 second and return. You'll repeat this 3 times in this view, and then you'll turn to this profile view and do 3 there. Remember, make sure that the dowel remains or that your hip width apart with your feet, using the dowel to measure your armpit width. From there, press it overhead, descend without letting the dowel come forward. 1 second pause. For the second screening, I want you to grab the tape that we pre-measured at the beginning that was from the floor to that little bump underneath your knee, and then use a door frame to measure that height. Leave the tape with that height, use another piece of tape to draw a cross to create the hurdle. Once that's set up, grab your broomstick or your dowel. Let's put it back on top of our heads with 90 degrees and set it behind your back. The dowel will sit on your shoulders and not on your neck. Once the dowel is on your shoulders, put your feet together just about the line of where the hurdle is set up. From there, you're going to step over without touching the tape with each foot 3 times, touching the heel without placing weight on the heel only, and bringing it back to the point that we started. Repeat each leg 3 times. For your third screening, you're going to be doing the inline lunge. Grab that same measurement tape that we did from the beginning of the screening and place it on the ground. Grab your dowel and use it for stability. Place your toe at the edge of the tape and your heel at the other edge. Once you've set that up, imagine throwing a baseball and bring your left hand, or whichever hand is on the side of the leg that's behind you, to your neck. Place the other hand on your lower back, keeping the stick in contact with your head, your back, and your butt. Without losing contact with the dowel, drop into the lunge, lifting the heel first, making contact with the heel, and coming back down, setting the heel down every time. Repeat that 3 times on each side. For this screening, you'll need to use the door jamb and make sure that you set your body up with mid-femoral or mid-thigh. So the door frame's gotta lie somewhere in between the knee and the hip. You're gonna lay flat on your back. You're gonna make sure that the door frame is somewhere in between the knee and the hip. With your hands relaxed over your head, I want you to lift the opposite leg that's away from the door frame as high up as possible without bending your knee. For this screening, we'll be assessing your ability to rotate with neutral hips. So I want you to use the door frame and put yourself in the middle of the door frame and then sit down with legs crossed. Preferably you want to be on the side of the door frame without the door on it. Get as close as you can, grab the dowel and rest it on your back, but not on your neck. Make sure to keep your spine long and tall and don't let your wrist bend back. Without changing any of those parameters, try to rotate in one direction as much as possible until you either touch the door jamb or feel restriction. Go 3 times in each direction. And if you have an issue like I have here with the door, what you're going to do is you're going to slide the dowel so that you can still grip it, but you're not going to have it hit the door as you rotate. Again, go as much as you can without changing your posture, falling into flexion, or resting the dowel on your neck. For this screening, I'm going to show you guys what it would look like once I'm face down. So I'm going to bring my hands over my head. Imagine I'm laying flat on the ground. If you're a male, you're going to bring your thumbs to your forehead. If you're a female, we're going to bring them to your chin. From there, we're going to go about the width of your armpits, so your thumbs would be aligned with your armpits. And then we would bring our elbows up. Make sure our toes are tucked under, and then as one segment, press our entire body weight up. Rest the weight back down and repeat it 3 times. So this is how it would actually look from the ground. Lay flat on your stomach, hands overhead. Slide your hands to your forehead. I'm going to keep mine there for me. Slide your hands out to your armpits, and then elbows off the ground, toes tucked under, knees off the ground, and in one effort, press up. Once you're done with the rep, completely rest your weight on the ground. Assess that your hands are in the proper position. If you're a male and you are unable to come up in one segment, bring your hands down to your chin. If you're female and you are able to come up in one segment and you want to test that, bring your hands up to your forehead. Again, make sure that you repeat each one fully resting, your body weight on the ground, and then re-engaging your body and taking off. For this last final screen, we're going to set up in quadrupedal position. All that means is we're going to be in that crawling position where the shoulders are over the wrist and the hips are over the knees. This is the side profile view with fingertips facing forward, knees directly underneath the hips, and also the width of the hips and the width of the shoulders. From here, with eyes looking down, I want you to sequence the right arm and right leg at the same time and extend them out. Set it back down and give me 3 attempts. Once you've tried that on both sides, and yeah, that side's gonna be really hard to do, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Again, put your efforts on doing it at the exact same time, so lift at the same time, versus trying to set your arm up and then extend the leg after. So again, left arm and left leg at the same time. Once you've done 3 on the right and 3 on the left, we're gonna do opposite sides. When you do opposite sides, it will be easier, but I will need you to make contact from the elbow and the knee in the center. That'll look like this. Set down after each rep and then repeat. Extend first, make connection in the middle, and set it back down. Repeat on both sides. I look forward to working with you and giving you some insight on where your body is now based on the habits and the environmental changes that have occurred. Remember that this is to assess your body's competence and performance in movement,